Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. Guys, we are here for the fastest, most fun 15 minutes of your day. All right, it is March Madness at midnight here on the East Coast, and we are here to answer any and all questions. I'm out with the fellas. We're having cigars, we're having drinks, we're playing spades. We got some fights. Well, the fights are over now, but we're having a good time. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. The first question of the night is from my man Danny. We got a new one in here. He says, did Niners get good value for Jordan Mason trade? Yes. Yes, they did. The Niners moved up. They actually ended up getting a fifth-round pick and a sixth-round pick for Jordan Mason, and they gave up a sixth-round pick for him. Pick 160 in exchange. Well, I'm sorry. We gave up pick 187 and we moved up to 160 plus next year's sixth-round pick. Guys, got to remember something, man. While we like the talent, got to remember a couple of things. He's a running back. He is a running back, all right? And what that means is there's not much value on him if you're not Saquon or CMC or if you're not King Henry, all right? And he was an undrafted free agent. So you flip him into two picks, that is a hell of a deal, and you get all of that money off the books. So I like that for the 49ers, all right? Could it have been more? I know a lot of people were kind of confused, like, oh, we put a second-round tender on him. That means we should have got at least a second. That just makes the team control all the negotiation, guys. That's all it is. Mark is in the building. Says, "Oh, gee, Big Mike, how's your Saturday been?" Hey, man, so far so good. I got one daughter out the house all night. I haven't seen her all day, and apparently she's not coming home until tomorrow. Crazy shit is she's only 11 years old. So yeah, whatever. And then my wife and two other daughters decided to go to a party down the street for a freaking dog. Did you guys know that they're doing birthday parties for dogs? My wife opened up his Amazon package. It's like, oh, Dunston's gifts came in, or Dusty, or whatever the hell that dog's name. I was like, you bought gifts for a neighbor's dog? So that's something that's a cultural difference. I'm going to chalk it up to a cultural difference because we don't do that where I'm from. But my Saturday has been good. Now I'm hanging out with my OGs, so everything is good. He said, why does Niner Twitter believe that Jordan Mason was the second coming of Steven Jackson? Because of that second round tender. I mean, there's no other way to look at it, you know. Was he good? Yes. Would I have liked to see him stay? Sure. But there was nothing that was super fantastic or fabulous about Jordan Mason that didn't make him replaceable. Again, guys, you have to remember the value of running backs nowadays. Was he Steven Jackson? Absolutely not. So, you know, it is what it is. Then he says, is Juice being back really all that surprising? No. The Niners asked him to take a pay cut. He said no, he wasn't going to take a pay cut. And then, you know what happened after that? He tested the market, and the market said, you should probably stay with the Niners. And guess where his ass is? You guessed it, right back here with the Niners. Come on, hair. My hair doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's where he is. All right. Marcus back again. How funny is it going to be when the undrafted running back outperforms whichever running back the Niners decide to draft? It happens every damn time, right? Every damn time. And that's why we have to stop putting so much weight in the running back position. And that's why the NFL has devalued the running back position. But when you get those special ones, you got to hold on to them. You got to hold on to them. When was the Mike Needs Love video of you leaning against the wall listening to LL deleted? I don't even know what video you're talking about. I got to stop drinking and doing shows. I did an I Need Love video to LL. When I'm alone in my room, I know the song you're talking about, but I don't remember doing a video for it, especially here on YouTube, all right? Do you remember when you stepped away from NBN? Yes, I do. I stopped doing NBN for a while. He says you were doing shows on Twitter and with other random Niner content creators. Then, like a week or two later, did a show with Tony and said, "Gotcha, that's right. That was an April Fool's prank that I pulled on you guys. Maybe 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. Look at you, man. Good memory, man. You know what? I'm gonna play some sounds for you because that is phenomenal memory. There we go. Let's drop a funk flex bomb on that one, all right? He says, homer bias aside, as a fan of the NFL, where would you rank Purdy among starting quarterbacks? Is he closer to 10 than 20? No, I don't have Okay, this is a tricky question, right? If you're talking about just talent, just take the man and put him on the field and line him up against any other quarterback. No, he's not top 10. He's not top 15. He might be 19-ish, 20-ish, right? But when you're talking about what the 49ers need from their quarterback, he is a cerebral young man. He's got some athleticism with his legs. but that's about where it stops. So he's kind of good for what the Niners want to do, but he's not the end-all, be-all by any stretch of the imagination. Should Niner fans worry about Pearsall having a Pettis-like drop-off? Oh, now that's a good one. Now that's a good question. Um, should we worry about a Pearsall-like drop-off? I'm thinking about it. So Ricky Pearsall, that's a really good comp because Pearsall came in and did well the last couple of games of the season, and we saw the same exact thing from Dante Pettis, right? Dante Pettis had a good ending to his rookie season, just like Pearsall did, and then he was kind of just gone and forgotten. I don't know how much I would worry about that. I don't know how much I worry about that. Mainly because the Niners need this guy. So they need him to perform. They need him to look well and do good. He said Pettis had a solid rookie year with rotation of QBs, but then dropped off. Yeah. I agree. Ronnie is in the building. He says, Mike, what position would you draft in the first round? As of right now, you got to go edge. You guys want Nick Bosa to return to true form. He's got to have somebody else on the outside, opposite side of him. If we don't get anybody opposite of Nick Bosa, we're going to be in trouble. Nick Bosa is not a guy that can single-handedly take over a game. I think those days are long behind him. I think teams have figured out how to kind of control the chaos that he calls, the havoc that he wreaks on the field. But you got to get somebody else on the opposite side of him that's going to at least be serviceable, respected by the opposing teams. If that doesn't happen, then Nick Bosa is not going to be that guy. All right? He says, with all the holes in the team has at depth, wait, what? With all the holes the team has at depth at many of the positions, what would you consider to be the top priority to fill? Top priority has to be offensive line. Right now, we have replacement level players at center. We have replacement level at maybe right guard right now. We knew that was, left guard, We knew that letting go of Aaron Banks, while a lot of 49er fans were like, get rid of him. This guy's trash. He should go. Okay, now who's going to plug in there? So we gotta fix up that offensive line. Those two pieces right in the middle there. And then after that, I will go defensive tackle. Defensive tackle's got to be a top priority as well. All right. What's your thoughts on the team signing Juice back? I love having Juice on the team. My issue is he's just been misused these last couple of seasons. So what good is it, right? We go out there, we get Juice, and he's going to come in here, he's going to play, he's going to do his thing, but it's like, now what, right? Like, are we going to use him the right way? It doesn't matter the talent that you have on the team if you're not going to utilize it. Niners should be coming out in heavy run sets with one wide receiver and then letting Juice scrape out and being a distraction out there. You know what I'm saying? But they don't quite do it as often as they should, in my opinion. All right. Pass the Juice, yes or no? Yes. Let that man catch. That's what he does the best. I think Juice runs routes that has hands better than he does blocking. And he's a good blocker, too. Let me not be, I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on the guy or anything like that. Kyle Juszczyk is a very good blocker. But the fact of the matter is there's just not a lot of teams that use fullbacks now. And so if you're going to bring him in there and use him as a fullback, make him a weapon, Make him a weapon. Let me see here. Besides being younger, what is the actual F is our new identity now? The core hasn't changed for this team. I want you guys to, we're kind of panicking over this offseason, but if you step back and look at it, this offseason is much like every other. We are still going to be a team that is going to put up some points on offense. We're going to run the ball well. And we just got to hope the defense bounces back. We've had 2 down years of defense, 2 down years of defensive coordinators, but Robert Saleh is back, the guy who put this whole thing together in the very beginning. So we got to hope that the defense bounces back. The defense bounces back. We got a new focus on special teams. You guys know that we went out and hired a top 10 special teams coordinator in the NFL, and Brent Boyer. So now we got to hope that the team of values special teams group, that third phase of the game, all of a sudden, we're competitive in every single game, no matter who the opponent is. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at some of these free agents that we've signed. A lot of them really do well on special teams. Let me see here. Any more questions? Niners must draft 2 running backs this deep running back draft. Nah, I don't think they're going to draft two. I think they'll draft one for certain, but I think the other one's going to be an undrafted free agent. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. This team is always going to pick up at least one undrafted free agent as a running back. They'll end up signing a vet later on in the offseason, and then we'll see how who plays out that way. Are we drafting our defense trench routine? Are we drafting our defense trench routine? I'm not quite sure what that means. I'll just say yes. I think we are going to draft some defensive players, that defensive line. You guys got to remember that last year was the first year in this regime's 8-year tenure that they did not draft a defensive lineman. First time ever. And we saw that bite us in the ass as the year went on. So they're definitely going to get back to those trenches. We'll see how it goes, though. Oh, yeah, defensive tackle. This is one of the deepest defensive tackle draft classes ever. So that also explains why the Niners aren't signing any of those guys, all right? Will all the OGs of NB Niners ever link up to do a show again? Still love the show, but definitely miss those days. I think it's on the horizon, all right? I told you guys I've been talking to Nick. Last conversation I had, he said something along the lines of, maybe I'll have to pop up again. So who knows? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll see. All right. He says, which wide receivers are your favorites? I haven't started putting together a list of favorite wide receivers in the draft. I'm assuming you mean in the draft. I haven't started putting a list together of them yet, but I am working on it. But my time looking at college prospects starts now. So, guys, got to give me some more time. I have some more answers as the weeks go on here for March Madness about which positions I like more and more. All right. Is Drake Jackson still on the team? Yes, he is. I know that a lot of people remember him. He's hopefully the next edge guy that we need. But if he's not, we got to keep looking. You watch Miami college ball? All right. So here's a question for you. Maybe you can help me out with this. Have you looked into wide receiver Xavier? Yeah, wide receiver from Miami. He's a mini Amon-Ra St. Brown. You agree with that? Miami's all-time leading receiver. See, I don't know shit about shit, but my man is over here. He's vouching for him. He's probably going to go in the first 2 rounds, then, right? What? How tall? I don't know how tall he is or anything. Second or third. All right. Oh, he's short. Good hands and everything. Good route runner. We'll have to see what happens, man. I don't know what Kyle values in wide receivers. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know. I like size, speed. Kyle seems to value a 10 cone more than 40 time. He values 10 cone seems to be like his thing. So I don't really know. Falls to the 30. Worth it. All right. We'll have to see. Do Niners need one or two quarterback backups? Just one, and we got him already. The Niners went out and signed Michael McCorkle Jones. Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones, who? All right, we already went out and got our backup quarterback. That's all we're going to need. They were running around using three. Why, I don't know. And then the backup that everybody liked last year was Joshua Dobbs, and he didn't even get the start when we all thought he should have. This time around, I think it'll be a little bit different. I think if Brock is messing up a little too much, we go out there and make some noise, make some changes. We got 1 minute left in today's show, and we got our first super chat here. Sean says, so we signed Juice. Free agency is over. Ain't drafting no running back. We got steroids Juice. Shift left, shift right, handoff, no gain. That's why Mason got the boot. Ain't no touches left for any back now. I mean, I think Juice has value. He's not going to be a ball carrier. This guy carries a ball less than 10 times a season for a reason, right? But he's a better receiver than he is a ball carrier. He's a really good blocker. They just got to learn how to use him, man. They use him in line, extension of the offensive line. He should be that tight end, too, that we've all been looking for. That's how I would use him. But what do I know, right? All right, question for the guys in the room here. What are the OG's thoughts on Canelo versus Crawford and Benavidez versus Bivol? All right. Crawford or Canelo? Who you taking? You taking Crawford? Who you taking? That's what I said. So I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he said the walk around weight for Canelo is natural for where so Crawford's moving up in weight to fight Canelo, and I think that's gonna hurt him. Well, so the rumor was the fight was canceled, but now they're saying the fight might be back on. So I don't really know. And then like 36. I mean, they're both up there in age. I think they're 34 and 35 respectively. I think they are. So I'm not, I don't think Canelo walks through like everybody else. I just think that power is going to be a little bit different. We got to remember that Bud is moving up. Now, here's the little caveat. I don't I don't think that Canelo has fought anybody as good with both hands as Crawford is, and I think it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight no matter how you try to spin it. But if I had to pick right now, I'm still picking Canelo because of that moving up in weight for Bud. But if they push this out till the end of the year, and if this is the only fight that Bud is taking this year, and he can put that weight on and then start walking around with it for the next 6 months, 7 months, and that becomes more of a natural feel for him, then it might change my opinion. I would like to hear his weight process throughout this time. What about Benavidez and Bivol? Yeah, doesn't seem like they're giving Bivol a chance. The other guy just went. My other guy went upstairs. I'll ask him when he comes back down, Mark. I'll ask him when he comes back. Right. Got any favorite tight ends in the draft? I do. Elijah Arroyo is my favorite tight end in this draft. But again, he's a route runner. He's not an inline blocker. He's not good at blocking, and he's always injured. I think it's the guy the Niners going to be able to get in the fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth round. Depends on how the tight ends come off the board. But he is hands. This guy is such a good route runner and pass catcher. He might even be used as a wide receiver in the NFL to take because he's got that injury history, right? So maybe get him off the line and where he doesn't have to do as much blocking and take as much physicality to extend his career. He said, "Mine is Luke Leachy from Iowa and Terrence from Oregon." I respect that. There was a question for you OGs in here. I'm going to ask you now. Canelo versus Crawford. Your thoughts? Don't forget that Crawford is moving up in weight to fight Canelo in this. Going with Crawford also. Okay, and then he says Benavidez versus Bivol. Benavidez, all right, clean sweep for Benavidez, man. All right, there you go, guys. Who has a bigger impact, Ricky Pearsall or Cowling? Well, that's Cowling didn't even get on the well. He got on the field, but he didn't do anything last year. So I got to go with Ricky Pearsall. Got to go with Pearsall. How unserious is this team? Settling. Got less on Mason. Tell me it's gonna be okay. Alleviate my woes. I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't think they settled for anything when it comes to Mason, though. I think that we got fair return on Mason. You guys got to remember that he was undrafted and he was a backup. If CMC is healthy, he's getting 90% of the touches at the running back position. Doesn't matter who the backup is. He's going to be the guy that's getting all the carries. So we have to keep that in mind, guys. If CMC is healthy, he's on the field. It doesn't matter who the backup is. All right. So let this undrafted free agent go. You built up a value in him, and you flipped them into 2 6-round picks. That's okay. That's okay. All right. That's the best I can do as far as alleviating your woes. But I think the team is just in just as good a position as we were at the end of last season. It's not saying much, but we didn't get worse this offseason. Sean is here. This is going to be the last comment of the night. This is the second super chat here, so let me drop it. No, actually, let's do a horn on this one. He says, thing is, we never even used juice right. I agree. Ever. Not ever, but the longer we got more weapons, the less we used juice. He was a playmaker with Ravens. He should be a tight end. I agree with that. Why are you stealing my SC, Mike? I don't know what SC means. Swagger? What's SC? I don't know. Mike, Juice should be tight end too. Be blessed, family. One love, Jesus Christ. Absolutely. I do think that we should be using him as the second tight end on the team. But what do we know, Sean? We just watch the Niners and think we know what we know, and they do whatever the hell they want to do. All right. Guys, listen, man, thank you all so much for sticking with us. Round of applause to you guys. You guys were excellent out there. I appreciate you all. All right. we're going to get up out of here. Prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, nothing.